Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Midnight Brands coming to you on May 19th, 2023. A couple minutes behind the schedule here, but hopefully we'll catch up. It has been a beautiful week. Hopefully everybody's been able to find some nice little dips to participate along the way and not try to short every little pop and get run over. So we'll get right into it. It's a little bit of not really econ, more just Fed speak type of stuff today, but more importantly, as part of that Fed speak, we actually have Fed Powell, and if I saw correctly earlier in the week, Bernanke is going to be speaking with him at that same conference. So it should be interesting to see what they have to say there. The G7 is also going on. I think the pop earlier was something that came out of the G7. I turned on the news, the squawk stuff a little bit late, and the pop had already gone through, but I think it was something around that. I don't know. It probably doesn't matter, to be candid. In any event, we'll jump right into things. As always, we'll start off with SVXY. Really clean, just a couple of quick commentary pieces. So we added an extreme zone if we decide to really push today on the indices. And keep in mind that today is OPEX. So it's monthly OPEX in so just added an extreme zone. This would definitely be pushing up onto the 20-day and 50-day symmetrical extremes. It could correspond to if we got a really big push today on, say, ES, NQ, etc. So like if ES decides to go and shoot up to, say, 4,300 or something, then we could very possibly see this bigger zone up here, which coincidentally would actually be the Tier 1 OPEX cheat for the week. Or for the month. Damn. In anyways, the other part that we added was a divish area for WTGR3 and the Tier 1 daily cheat. And for context... Ah, crap, I just clicked the wrong button. SVXY is presently around 72.03, so it is definitely moved up a little bit there. But nothing of oh my gosh type of significance by any stretch of the imagination. So moving on to VIX. VIX is down at 1604, so it's still kind of trying to hold this WTGR structure, etc. zone. Not a whole lot to add here other than to note out that WTGR2 is definitely present, but it's isolated, so we're not really paying much attention to it. We're probably treat, if anything, more kind of the historical structure around 1486. Tier 1 and a week cheat as a zone. It's something to just keep an eye on. It could prove as kind of like a stall point. Same thing, like WTGR2 could prove as a stall point. As you can see, full ADRs, which will actually move a little bit lower if we do gap down like this. Again, super small gap. But full ADRs will actually move down a little bit lower to that 1419 zone. And yeah, like I said, otherwise it's generally pretty clean for VIX. Moving on to SPY. SPY is at 420.20. So it is pushed up through this this zone here, so it's gapped up almost a buck here from the close yesterday. And yeah, it's already into this first block here, which obviously will not be ADRs. Well, actually, that means it will have achieved them, because that was the weekly full ADR actually at that block there. So what I would note is, first thing we'll have is supply and demand and daily trend guide reversal. This is that big gap here on the daily, so this goes all the way back to this August gap here. So definitely a divish level before you get to WTGR. WTGR4 won't be photo ADRs anymore. They'll moved up, likely into the monthly trend guide reversal 2 zone. But you'll have, again, the trend guide reversal, the Tier 1 daily cheat, supply and demand. And so it's a pretty good size. I guess you could actually drag it down, since photo ADRs aren't going to be there anymore, and drag it down to be the cheat and TGR, and then the gap fill. So it's about to be a little over a buck type of zone, but it probably won't mean much given that we're back to kind of like some decent $5-6 type of range. So above that, anywho, you get monthly trend guide reversal 2, which again should now be photo ADRs. And then noted here, if you look back into kind of the December time period, there's an ABCD here that I noted on the daily last night, and it takes us up to 425.54, which drives us up to that upper edge zone, which is supply and demand low, is what we dragged it down to include, and that ABCD termination. So definitely a interesting one there. If we decide to fail all of this stuff, then probably the biggest thing to keep an eye out is this zone down here. This would be a massive give back. It would definitely be a breakout and fail type of thing. Really kind of be looking more to the upside. I think everybody is looking to see it fail, and so I think the bigger pain is actually to the upside. I could be completely wrong. I have no idea. I'm just going to watch and see kind of how things operate against the levels and play it from there. Moving on to Qs. So again, kind of went back last night. I was looking at things and noted also an ABCD there. Takes us up to 338, which is Qs are trading at 337.82 at the moment, and ES and NQ are trying to push as we speak. So, anyways, we added this structure way up here. This seems really crazy. It'd be a $6-7 move based upon where we're at even right now. But noted it nonetheless there. So you can see kind of where it takes us to on the daily here. Kind of a big spot there back in April. Underneath that, you got your supply and demand weekly trend guide reversal 6, and full ADRs will actually have moved up a little bit, but they would have generally been in there. Photo ADRs may actually come up and move into that one. And so lower, you got your quarterly trend guide reversal. I mean, I don't have to read all this stuff, folks. This is all pretty straightforward. The things I would note is this zone 4 we extended up, which grabs the combo high value area May highs last week's, or this week's high, supply and demand high. So we just dragged it up to grab this ABCD termination, which we're getting already pretty damn close to. Again at 337.90, call it rounding up. Down here, so we just combined kind of the this zone and this div here, and then down on the low side, so it was just monthly trend guide reversal gap full ADRs. We just extended it to include weekly trend guide reversal. Mostly just trying to look at, okay, if we're looking potentially to draw a zone, $7-8 up, okay, let's see and be equal in drawing where and what our zones look like. So as the Qs, ES, as I said, is trying to move a little bit here, and it's just retested again the lower edge of this zone here, which is a pretty big zone. Right, you got a gap fill in there, naked VA, monthly trend guide reversal, daily trend guide reversal, and weekly trend guide reversal 3, and it just came up there and tested again here, just right now. Not a whole lot, I think, to add on some of these above here. The one I would note is in this box here, which is definitely starting to get up there at 4280s. There is that. It's not truly sneaky, but it is kind of that NV POC is hiding just right behind the monthly trend guide reversal too. So keep an eye out for that one. That is right there behind things hiding. It's also interesting that it's been trying to hold the close, looks like pretty much all overnight. It is not, hasn't dipped below, and it's kind of trying to hold that gap fill there. lower, so we did adjust here this trend strength reference point zone a little bit, just kind of dragged it down to grab the swing anchor VWAP, and really just causes then to say, hey, let's ignore this zone because we're going to come down a little bit and grab the swing anchor VWAP from the May 18th spot. The trend guide zone I don't really like, actually, because of just how close it is. So you could keep it as two separate zones, kind of how it's carved up there. You can see it's really close though to the weekly trend guide reversal. So if you're playing that, you know, you gotta be cautious. You don't want to be sitting there and take the bottom edge, stop out, and then immediately try to re-enter right away at weekly trend guide reversal, full ADR, supply and demand, swing anchor VWAP. I mean, that's a good size zone there. So probably watch that one and decide on what and how things, if we start trading down there and really, you know, starting to accelerate, may ignore the weekly IB stat high trend guide and look more for the weekly trend guide reversal. We'll just have to see. And even beneath that, you get a nice one, right? That's your 20-day daily anchor VWAP is going to be right in there still too. Yeah, May 4th got a daily anchor VWAP still right there. So yeah, I think it's actually up there. Yeah. In any event, not a whole lot else to add. I think if we came all the way down here, I'd probably just hang it up for the day and not worry about trying to catch anything else like the 50 or this block here at 4110. So yep. Moving on, I'm going to go into the NQ, start off at the high. So we added this block here for structure. If we decide to really keep pushing, this would be, you know, pretty big move. But there's definitely some stuff up here with structure. Obviously, most folks won't have be on weekly trend guide 5. I've got it on with our stuff here. So trend guide reversal 7, tier 2 daily cheat, supply and demand. And like I said, there's definitely some structure going back there at the 14 to something. I can't even see the number there. Beneath that, not a lot to say there. This one here, so it actually carved them up into two zones: monthly trend guide reversal, weekly trend guide reversal 5. It's up to you. Like I just chose to leave it combined as one. You could actually have dragged this down and said, you know, just trend guide reversal, high value area, lower edge of supply and demand, and call it a day there, and split them as the two. I chose to kind of just leave it and treat it as one bigger zone. So also added in this block here. I didn't get text onto the screen for it, but it added this block here. So this is the tier 2 end of week cheat. There's a low volume node right here, and it's weekly trend guide reversal 4. So it felt pretty important to kind of note that one out. So I think it actually held the overnight. I think, yeah, it also looks like it's really tried to hold the close from yesterday too. So it's really interesting. In any event, I think everything else here is pretty spot on. No changes, no adjustments, other than adding the weekly trend guide reversal, monthly trend guide reversal all the way down here at the lows. So I think that is all pretty clear. Again, where is this? So this 13,996. So that is right here at the upper edge of supply and demand, is where this ABCD terminates there on this guy. So that is right at that upper zone. And with the way NQ works, it probably will note, okay, cool, it completed it, but start watching, see what is it going to go try to get further. I don't remember too many times where NQs hit the ABCD completion and just stopped to the tick. Moving on to RTY. RTY is poked up and is tried to clear this trend guide reversal zone. It's kind of pulled back and is just hanging out right beneath the weekly trend guide 2 spot right there, with an NV POC tucked into all of that mess there. Not really anything to add on this one other than we did adjust up the monthly trend guide one to include the 20-day, and actually down here at the couple things, I take that back. Down here at the lower edge trend guide, it originally didn't have the zone drawn that way. I know it says it in the text, but we adjusted that to pick that up. And then this block here included weekly pivot, and then this one down here we adjusted down to grab the tier 3 daily cheat and the weekly IV stat low, which is also obviously structure. So that's it for RTY, YM. Pretty straightforward. Just adjusted this block up here to include weekly trend guide reversal 2 gap fill on that one. Just kind of noted here, we definitely been playing around in the middle on this one since last night. And definitely have had some interactions off of monthly trend guide, so that's why I wanted to make sure we noted it. It actually was not yesterday's IV high. I don't know what caught my eye there to make me think that, but there is a I guess my eyes are really messing with me this morning. That was a gap fill, and it was just the top edge of the rectangle there. So, and anywho, it's structure and monthly trend guide and gap fill, and yeah, the NV pocket was down here. So I guess that's what I was thinking about is if we did decide to reverse, give all this stuff up, come down and break lower, then you'd have your NV pocket with that one. So, gonna move on. CL, where is CL now? Yeah, so CL is still flirting with this zone here. So it's flirting with the trend guide, weekly trend guide zone there. Trend strength reference point just beneath it. This one was a bit tougher to carve up and deal with today. So. In any event, I mean, it's kind of the way that I see that one and kind of how it's laid out. It, like I said, was not the cleanest and most simplest one to deal with here today. It's interesting. I have some extra kind of noise in one of my other charts on that. In any event, not a whole lot really to call out here other than added this zone up at the highs of weekly trend guide 3, supply and demand, gap fill, and low volume node. Is there anything else? Combine the 50-day EMA along with quarterly pivot, so this kind of zone here got some reduction. Then again, we already called out and talked about how we reduced to focus on the trend guide 20-day gap fill structure. So I don't think there's really anything else on CL that I need to call out or feel like needs to be called out. Let's move down to GC. Shot right through the look. Was really hoping to get a bounce in there. Did try, a little bit the other day, but well, I just wasn't even really around yesterday. I had some off-site client meetings, and so didn't get to try that. Did give it one shot, and it failed, and just said screw it and left for our chats. So we'll have to keep an eye on this. Could get interesting here. It's definitely trying to ignore its prior structure here of the prior highs back in February. So I'm not sure what else to really call out in here. Just I guess a couple of notes. So at the top edge, added monthly pivot, supply and demand high. The weekly trend guide zones, we just really combined the zone 2, zone 3 pieces together. Actually, this one here. So we came down. We actually kind of messed with some of this here overnight. Again, after yesterday. Actually, it looks like it's yesterday, and then kind of played around with it here around 9 o'clock Central last night. So it chose to actually split this into two. So you've got your Tier 2 end of week cheat, your weekly full ADRs, gap fill, monthly trend guides, supply and demand. Got that right there, and then underneath it is split out. It's really close to each other for sure, but it wouldn't be upset, wouldn't be mad at if you did decide to come down, tag the gap fill weekly full ADRs, and then reverse off of that. Otherwise, yeah, I'd start watching for it to come down, tag the Tier 1 daily cheat, the trend guide reversal, weekly trend guide, etc. And if he doesn't want to stop at any of those things, you can see there's some other pretty clean zones noted out below. All right, and so that is it. There's, again, just a little bit of econ here. It's really more just Fed speak later today. And hopefully everybody is able to have a good day and enjoy the weekend. And we will catch y'all on Monday. Thanks. Bye now.